Hello, all you lovely people, and welcome back to the niche. This is your daily check in for all sports news and fitness motivation. And today is a fabulous, fantastic Friday. It's the Friday before Super Bowl Sunday. So we got a lot of picks today coming at you for Super Bowl parlay, partay, as well as a couple other just fun things that I've heard around the internet. But we'll get to that in a second. Today we'll take a look at some workout highlights, a couple sports news highlights. We'll look at our big picks for the day and the weekend, and then we're also going to look at parenting one more time today. We'll see if that keeps up. I think that's been an enjoyable part of this show. So comment below if you want to hear more of parenting wisdom out of Colin here on the niche. I'll get it started quick. It'll be hopefully a quicker, little bit of a shorter episode today. But workout, there wasn't one today. I had another morning of sleeping in. Sue me. We're looking to have maybe some deadlifts and some bench press this weekend. But I'll report back to you on Monday if and only if that is the case. Sports news, not too much going around. One thing I heard was an interview on the Pat McAfee show with Sean Payton. And I got to say, I didn't listen to or see much about Sean Payton when he was in New Orleans, but I really enjoyed what he had to say on the show today. I thought he was really well spoken. I thought he was really well mannered. And I was rooting for the Broncos. Obviously, I'm a Chiefs fan, and when we play against the Broncos, I'm not a big Broncos fan, but soft spot in my heart because I grew up across the street from a big Broncos family. So I want them to be successful. When Russell came in, I really thought that they would be a good team this last year. I actually did. He was my number one pick on my fantasy draft. You probably know now how my fantasy team did this year. But I'm rooting for the Broncos. I'm glad they got Sean Payton. I think he's going to be a great coach. The way he was talking about dealing with the kids, because they are kids. Some of them are men, I guess, but the kids and the men on the football team, no offense, guys. Hey, listen, you're all a bunch of studly men, okay? Don't come tweeting me at Colin Nitcher because you're upset that I'd called you boys. Okay, I get it. You're men. Fine. But Sean Payton was talking about how he's a mixing old school football culture and coaching with new school. And his example was how he's going to make the guys wear a certain type of cleat when they go to Green Bay, which I'd never heard before. I guess they have to wear the old style screw in cleats to get a certain level of traction on the Green Bay field that they don't have to worry about on other fields. The guys hate it on the football team. It makes their feet hurt. The rookies say, no, I'm fine. But Sean says, when I'm coach, I'm going to make you put these cleats on. Well, on Monday, Sean's telling the Pat McAfee show, what I'm going to do for these guys is have all of the foot massage therapists come in, and we're going to take care of these guys. We're going to ice them. We're going to bat the salts on their feet, everything, whatever it takes to get their feet feeling fresh again. And he says that's kind of his example of meshing these two cultures of the old school style hard-nosed coaching with the new school taking care of the players and being a player's coach in that way. I thought that was good. I thought he had a lot of good things to say. I thought his ambiance, his spirit was really good in his interview with Pat. So I'm looking forward to him coaching the Broncos, and hopefully somebody in the West will challenge the Chiefs for a division title this year. We'll see. We'll see. We've still got Andy and Pat as far as I know. So MV Pat, if you will. Of course, last night the NFL honors, Patrick Mahomes takes home MVP, and a handful of other things. Not too much on Twitter as far as that goes. So people must not have been too surprised or shocked by the results there, but happy for Pat. I saw Nick Wright tweeted that the one person who voted for Josh Allen got one MVP vote. Maybe Jalen Hurts got a vote, and then Patrick got all 48 other votes, and rightfully so, in my opinion. Obviously, Chiefs fan. You guys don't even want to hear that, but Nick Wright, who I really enjoy listening to, big Chiefs fan, obviously, does a really good job covering sports. He said that that one person should lose their right to vote, and he's kind of in jest, but I think he's also being serious, and he's making a point. Like, how could you argue that Josh Allen had an MVP season this year? I think it's a fair question. I think it's a fair point. Another thing on the Super Bowl this weekend, all the odds and the betting is just leveling back out. It's been Eagles, Eagles, Eagles all week and leveling back out. More and more people putting more and more money on the Chiefs, trying to bring it even again, because I think there's a growing attitude now at the end of the week. Finally, people are waking up and realizing, oh yeah, the Chiefs are playing again, their third Super Bowl in 5 years. Maybe we should stop assuming that this really good Eagles team is going to crush them as if they were the only good team playing this weekend. So that's been really interesting to watch. And we'll get to my official picks here in a second. One last thing I saw on the Chiefs was a report, unprompted apparently, being interviewed. I think it was Andy Reid talking about Patrick's relationship with Travis Kelce, and he's like, yeah, that's great. He said what's been really special is Patrick's relationship with Kadarius Toney. And I love hearing that because as a player, watching him on the field, the different weapons that he seems to have, his abilities around these guys that are trying to cover him, I think Kadarius Toney is incredible. And I really have believed since we picked him up and I got to see him play, he's had the Tyreek Hill factor of like he can shake anybody at any point on the field, which means he's at moments untackleable. He's untackleable. And that gets me really excited that Andy sees that and would say that, and that seems to be the relationship Patrick has with him because I'm rooting for Kadarius. I want him to have a big Super Bowl. I want him to be a longtime Chiefs guy, and really just want him to be healthy so he can be out there balling with the guys because really he doesn't seem to be all the way healthy since we got him, which has to be good news for the Giants because he wasn't even playing for the Giants because of quote-unquote health concerns. So rooting for you, Tony. Get out there and play, man. Let's get to picks. Before we talk about my super parlay for the day, we obviously have to cover yesterday's parlay, PARTAY, and then look over a couple picks that aren't on my official parlay, but that I've taken notes on, things I've heard around the league, around the web this morning. Yesterday, not good. We had a 4-leg parlay PARTAY, and let's look at the stats on that. The total odds, of course, were +8. No, I'm giving away free looks. Look away. Here we go. Oh, I've really goofed up. No. Okay, you just got a sneak peek at some of the parlay PARTAY for super parlay PARTAY weekend. I'll just go over with the web browser here. I know what we're looking at, but the picks yesterday, not good. I'll tell you ahead of time, we went 1 for 4 on our parlay. If you miss anything on a parlay, obviously you don't win, so we did not win, which puts us at 0-2 for the parlay PARTAY record. How about this? 0-2. I've got that one up here. Not good. But hey, hang in there with me. We're gonna get on a heater here, and we're gonna start hitting some parlays. Part of that is I probably suck at betting parlays. I'll just be honest with you. You shouldn't bet my parlays until we start winning, and we're gonna start winning because we're gonna get better at this. The ones we missed yesterday, I'll pull it up. Georgia State playing Old Dominion. We said the money line. They didn't hit the money line. They lost by 3. Diedrich on Twitter must be a Georgia State fan. Sorry, must be a Old Dominion fan because he tried to tell me after I posted my bets yesterday, man, Georgia State about to get blown out again, shaking my head. Well, Diedrich, even though you were right in sentiment that they did not win, they also did not get blown out. So who's really the winner here? We bet that North Florida would money line Florida Gulf Coast. That didn't happen. We bet that Florida International would, I think, cover a spread on Louisiana Tech, which they did. So this was our one hit yesterday. Thank you, Florida International. And then we thought Hawaii, being all the way down on the islands, would cover 11.5 against a UC 7-17 UC San Diego Tritons. And they did win, but they won by 7. And we missed that leg of our parlay also. So on legs, we are 1 for 7. I got to make notes of this stuff. I guess I can check this video to know. 1 for 7. And all in all, on the parlays, we are 0-2. So let's get over here. I think this is my Super Bowl picks for the day. Super Bowl parlay PARTAY. We're looking at Super Bowl Sunday here on this fine Sunday, February 12th, 2023. The odds of my parlay is +8988. Colin, that's so much higher than the one you missed 3 out of 4 on yesterday. True, but it's the Super Bowl, so we're going super big on Super Parlay PARTAY time, baby. Let's get it. Before we hit my parlay, I want to share with you a couple of the different bets that I've heard today that I thought were interesting that people are looking at as potentially surefire bets. A lot of people are looking at Juju Smith-Schuster to score the game's first touchdown. If you're betting exact score, I recommend putting a couple cents here and there around a couple different scores here and there. But in the general vicinity of Chiefs 30, Eagles 27, my exact score pick, it's got to be around there. I've been on the team of sprinkling a few of those picks in to my betting book. So I'm not sticking to just one score, but I think it's going to be around that. Somebody said 33-27 Kansas City. I think it's going to be close to that. Shortest touchdown, under 1.5 yards on the game. Apparently that's happened 23 out of the last 33 Super Bowls. So that seems like a good bet. McKinnon to be under his projected rushing attempts is a good one because he's going to get screen passes, and it may be if they're at or behind the line, they could be counted as a run, but I think most of them are going to be passes. I think Pacheco's going to get the ball, and this isn't one of my bets, but come on, Andy Reid, let's run the ball. I think we need a little bit of a smash mouth attitude, and I think Pacheco wants to bring that. And yeah, Patrick's going to shine, and we're going to win the Super Bowl with him, but man, I hope we bring a little dog mentality and throw some runs out there. Let's go, Chiefs. A lot of people this is Pat McAfee saying this. He was a punter, lives in the kicking world. He said that kickoff's going to get returned. You can bet on that. He says with those new, unused, never used Super Bowl balls, they're not going as far. They're getting returned. We like Devonta Smith, and I say we being the internet. I'm not necessarily betting on this, but I'm thinking about it being over on the amount of targets that he receives on Sunday. A lot of people like to bet the over as well as our last one here on the clipboard for this game, thinking it's going to be high flying, high scoring. I heard one report say that if it's high flying, the Chiefs win, and if it's a nail biter, the Eagles win. I don't think that's a bad take. I thought the Bengals game would be a little bit of a high flyer, and that turned out to be a 23-20 ball game. Not nearly as high as I thought, but I think I would consider betting the over on this as well. It's not in my super parlay partay today, but I don't think that's a bad take. So there you go. There's a couple to get your juices flowing for Super Bowl Sunday betting. Let's take a look at what I've officially bet. And these might not be my only bets. These are just ones I've bet so far. This is a parlay that I've bet so far, not just bets, I suppose. I should clarify. We've got, for the first part of the grouping of 3 groupings on this single parlay for Super Parlay Partay on this fabulous Friday, I've got Patrick Mahomes over 225. I think he has to be. And okay, let's go. Let me turn this off. Caveat on this parlay, I don't like the idea of giving you guys bets that I have an emotional connection to, because that's not fair. So don't bet this parlay. Do not bet this parlay. It's all on my emotions with the Chiefs. With that said, I think Patrick is over 225. I do think Jalen's over 48.5 rushing yards, because he's got to be. His passing's not that good. I know he gets a lot of heat for that, and then people are like, oh, but look at his clips of him throwing so well. He's such a good thrower. Well, I think he's going to run the ball. I think he's more comfortable with it. I think he's more talented at it. He'll throw the ball fine. He's got great receivers. He'll put the ball down the field, but I think they've got a running game plan that they are looking to use. And if they're only throwing on Sunday, it's not going to work. That's why people think the Chiefs are going to win. With that said, I think Patrick Mahomes is over 1.5 touchdowns. I think he's got at least 2. Come on, Patrick. Throw him in there, baby. Second grouping here, we've got Jerick McKinnon as an anytime scorer. And then this is a little bit of a sneak attack. This is why I think I'm at plus 8988 on the odds for my parlay partay, because Boston Scott is an unlikely touchdown scorer. However, he's scored at least 1 touchdown this postseason already, so it's not like he's not out there doing it. If these 2 hit, we're going to be having a good day, because I think these are going to hit. If these 2 hit, we're going to be having a good day, because then, of course, to round out the parlay, we've got Chiefs covering a 1.5 point loss. Are you kidding me? Vegas or FanDuel or whoever is setting these books. Man, I hope I don't eat these words. But there it is. My super parlay partay on a fabulous Friday here on theNitch. It's written down. It's on the record. That's what I'm looking for this weekend. And I can't wait to see you back here on Monday to talk about how we did with that and what the game looked like. Quick parenting, my only hope for you this weekend. Get out there and do something fun with your kids. Do something with your kids that makes you and makes them laugh. I was sitting on the floor in my kitchen just the other day with my daughter, and she started just asking me to sing. And the moment I'd sing a song she knew, she'd start singing along with me, and it just made me giggle, and then it made her giggle. And there's nothing better than just a little bit of laughing and playing like that with your kids. So do something that makes them laugh. Do something that makes you laugh, and enjoy their company, no matter what age they are or what stage they're in. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for hanging out. This is theNitch. I'm Colin Nitcher. February 10th, Friday, Fabulous Friday, Super Parlay, Partay Friday. And we'll see you back here on Monday. You guys have a good weekend.